Well, hello everyone and welcome to the end of August plot tour. And as always, just kicking off with the wonderful rhubarb. Set into the magnolias and the tayberry at the back there, putting on some decent growth. So I'm looking forward to the second year of that next year, actually get some fruit from it. We had one or two this year, but not a harvest you could actually do anything with. And over to the strawberries. And the everbearers at the front two rows here are actually starting to give us some more fruit. And the potato pots of what's left of them. They've still got a couple there that have actually got some Sarpo Blue Danube in them. We've popped some French beans into the holes that the previous pots have left. And around to the courgettes. This is the green variety and this is the yellow one here, which seems to be suffering quite badly with mildew. Try and get my shadow out of the way. This is the thing about getting further into the year. August has been quite an interesting month in terms of being quite blowy at the start and rainy, and then all of a sudden a heat wave at the end. So thank you to Meryl, Piers and Annabelle for the logs that have gone around the potatoes and around here. I wasn't actually intending to put them around here, but I had so many of them. So the gooseberries and blackcurrants are doing rather well, although the blackcurrants look just rather, body language isn't too good, but I'm sure they're fine. So I've got some little cover crops around them. And the baths, the spa garden. The tumbling toms are okay, they've been producing. I don't think they're that happy, as it, but and the carrots certainly aren't. We uncovered them too early, thought we wouldn't get carrot fly because of how high they are off the ground, and no, the carrot fly have got in. And have a look at the fruit garden and the dahlias and the lavender covered in bees, and also cabbage white butterflies, which seem to love it. I'm so glad that we've given them something they can enjoy other than our cabbages. So we got the autumn king carrots down here. Chard. So the French beans are out. And we've got some new crops in there like mustard. Now the wind that we copped at the beginning of the month managed to blow both of the wigwams at an interesting kinky angle. And I've gone and strapped them into a post, and hopefully that will keep them up for the rest of their life this year. And we got some leeks, turnips, radish, a whole host of things in there, including some new kohlrabi, some red ones as well as some white ones. And the kohlrabi have come up from here. We put in some winter cabbages. Pak choi's in there doing great guns. Beetroot and our kale, which we came to harvest and discovered that underneath the leaves was absolutely covered in the babies of white fly, which were not very appealing and not very easy to get to wash off. Now the peach, poor thing, had its top blown off. Didn't really think it was going to put on that much growth in its first year, and I was only really wanting to train it out as an espalier. So it forced me into pruning it, and rather than having nature pruning it with more wind, I took off a lot more of its growth, which I think is probably the best thing for it, even though I couldn't find anywhere in textbooks saying the first year you could prune it during the summer. I'm hoping I'm going to get away with it. Tomatoes in front of the shed are producing, very nice. Bit of an afterthought, that one. And here's the flower area and our sort of leisure area. Red love apple tree. It's okay. Wasn't expecting to get a flower on the globe artichoke in its first year, but that's not very nice. It's obviously happy there. The one up on the bank behind the cosmos, well, not so happy. So Rhingium, been very popular with the bees, but not today. I think perhaps it's the nectar has finished. And our cosmos, heuchera, lavender, pond. Still no sign of anything like frogs or newts or toads, which wishful thinking on my part there. And I've got a nice white dahlia up at the top there, which I might have to move because, well, actually I'm not gonna have cosmos in that area next year. A tad on the high side, blocks everything else out. Lilies are finished. So in the tubs on either side of the rose arch next year, I'm hoping to have some buddleia, bring in more butterflies, hopefully not more cabbage white butterflies, and having a clematis up either side. That's the latest thinking anyway. We keep changing our minds. And through to the wallflowers and strawberries and sweet corn. So we just had some sweet corn for the first time for lunch today, and they were delicious. So we got a few more cobs to come off that, but it's not been a particularly successful year for them. Parsnips, hopefully not all tops and no bottoms. We'll find out later in the year. So our meadow bed's all planted up with a cover crop now, so next year that's going to have onions in it and tomatoes. We were rather worried that we were going to get blight and get virtually no fruit from the tomatoes this year, but we've got away with it even though other people in the county have not. So here we have our Brussels sprouts with a spare kale shoved in there. They're going well. Had to clear them of caterpillars, but since then we don't seem to be having too much damage. More tomatoes, cover crops, magnolias, and the peppers. So we have got some turning red here, although this one's actually got a hole in it, but I think that might be weather damage. More spring onions, spinach. So with the weather forcing me to prune the peach, I went and pruned other fruit trees. The espaliering seems to be going well, and as are the dahlias. Two bishops are not doing as well as they did last year, a little bit on the small side. So I've tied in this fruit tree, the apple tree here. Some more lovely dahlias. And around to the butternut squash. We have a few fruit. I've trained it a little bit up around this post here, but I've snipped off the ends in various places, trying to limit its growth and hopefully focus its efforts into the fruit that it's got. And we've got some more mustard around the front here. We've got mustard dotted around the place. More rhubarb, leeks in the back there. Some of those did bolt, but since harvesting the bolted ones a couple of weeks back, not any problems, even during the heat wave we've just had. Right, and coming back round here. It's quite blustery today all of a sudden. It's alright this morning. So I hope everybody's keeping well, enjoying their garden, and see you next month. Bye for now.